Hello, and welcome to the Evil Lair, where you learn how to pincers and sometimes build and defeat the good guys with lots of evils and arrows.
Welcome Reaper fans! Today we have Mudgullet. This is from the Reaper Bones line by Reaper Miniatures. This miniature is a beast. It has lots of tentacle type arms and it has one of those little eyes, you know, like on the very deep sea fish where they got those little glowy eyes. So what I'm going to do with this miniature is I'm going to give it a nice dark body. These tentacles I am going to paint wet blended with pink, and then we'll have the eye, which will be somewhat luminous, and I think I'll add some luminous effects around the body, just like you'd find on those deep sea fish where they glow in the dark. So I'm going to see if I can do that effect today on this miniature to give it a bit of a glowy feel. I haven't stuck him to the base, so the base I'm going to paint separate. He's on 160mm base boss base, and the base I will do a muddy effect, so we're going for browns again. So I will get the base coats done for both these miniatures. I think I will go for a very dark green for this miniature, and a brown for the base. I will come back once the primer coats are on, and then we can see where we're going from there. I've given the base a nice undercoat with Rhinox hide, and I've given a light brown to the Mudgullet, and I'm using it to a lighter texture and a wet blend into white. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the whole of the miniature in a nice dark brown ink wash, and once that's dry I will come back and then we can start on the dry brushing. My ink wash is all dry now, and the next stage I am going to use some Niblet green, and this is a dry brush paint by Games Workshop, and I am going to use that for all the highest areas because I wanted like a very moist green, bright green effect, almost like an algae effect going over the miniature. So let's take a see on how this looks. Yeah, that's good. So we'll go over the whole miniature, over all the areas of this green. Just slightly going down the tentacles. There we are, that's very nice. I'm trying to go over a very messy, gooey, underwatery swamp effect look. So we want lots of dark colours mixed in with the algae greens, and it'll come out looking like it's supposed to. I mean, the monster's called the Mudgullet. I mean, this is not a clean monster, so we're trying to make it look dirty but without making it look like a bad paint job. So adding these greens will work just well, and like I say, this eye, we want that to be bright, just like those ones, the underwater fishes with the bright eyes that attract their prey by using the light on their eye. So we'll have that glowing. Yeah, that's nice. I will do a lighter green dry brush on top of that. Don't need much. What I'll do now is I'll get the base all dry brushed as well, and I'll come back and we'll go to the next stage. The miniature is coming on really well now. What I've been doing is I have been giving coats of Agrax Earthshade, then been going over highlighting with green, and then repeating with more Agrax Earthshade, because I'm trying to get a very dirty look to this miniature, and it's working well. I've done all the like spines and the little teeth. I did them with bleached bone and skeletal bone, and again covered with Agrax Earthshade. All I need to do now is go over the green areas and highlight them with green again, so we got a bit more a luminous effect to the green. And then I will be doing all the body. I'll give it all a gloss varnish to give it that wet look, because it is supposed to be like a mud monster. So that will give the whole miniature a wet feel and look to the mini. The eye I will finish off. There is not much more I can really do to this miniature to show you. So what I'll do is I will finish the miniature and I'll come back and I will show you and or tell you anything that I think needs to be told. Here we have the finished Mudgullet. I used gloss varnish. This is the gloss varnish effects by Army Painter, and it's given a lovely wet look to the whole miniature. As you can see, it really gives a nice shine. I've done that to everywhere on the rocks as well. It looks slimy and muddy now. So let's give you a little 360. I highlighted the areas here. I used some of that maggot white by MSP just on the tips. Same with the eyes. I also used some alien goo from MSP, just highlighting certain areas of the miniature, like over the rocks here. It just gives it a little glow, and with the gloss effect on top of that, it just works out perfect, and the tentacles look all slimy. So I'm very happy how this turned out. It's a fantastic miniature. It's quite a simple paint, but the finished result works perfectly well, and this is very, very acceptable for your tabletop. So let me show you what's for next week. Next week we have Baba Yaga's house. This is a Reaper Miniatures special. It's Bones Black. It's a big miniature. It has quite a few. I will actually explain to you some of the things that are a little bit off with this in the video next week. So I won't go into details, but there are a few things with this house that are a little disappointing. So this is next week's paint, Baba Yaga's house. And if I can find the miniature, I will paint Baba Yaga 2 to go with the house. So next week's paint. If you enjoy what I'm doing, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support my channel, then please become a patron. All patrons get their names added to the credits of all my videos. So until next time.
Okay, you can all go now. Please, leave me alone!